Hey, my name is Lasitha. I'm a 4th year medical student from KDU. In my previous video, I've taken you guys through a week of our family medicine appointment. You've seen what I did on a daily basis throughout my clinicals and lecture hours. Today, I'm going to show you all the hard work that goes on behind the camera in order to face the challenges of our appointment and our upcoming exams. So I'm going to be showing you guys two things in this video. The first one is how I prepare myself for the family and medicine appointment, and the second one is how I study for my upcoming exams in October, the third MBBS Part 2, which is going to be in 4 subjects: pathology, forensic medicine, public health, and pharmacology. So in week 1 we did our clinical rotation at the home government hospital, but then for week 2 we had to move back to UHKDU, which is the hospital linked with our university. We started the morning with an introduction from our new consultant, and it was the first time ever that someone addressed us doctors and also gave us the opportunity to wear our stethoscopes around our necks. So this has never happened to us before, so it was a pretty cool experience. Later he gave us a book called Lecture Notes on Family Medicine, which has been written by a local doctor, and he told us to go through this book and to make short notes out of it, which he would later on check on Friday before the end of our appointment. So until that point, everything seemed pretty cool and we were really excited about this appointment. But then he told us that we would need to sit a viva with him at the end of the appointment just to check whether we went through the book or not. So here I am, once again, studying, glancing, reading through the book on my iPad. So let me tell you guys how I study for my exams, and that can be divided into 3 phases. So the first phase is where I go through my lecture notes. So let's take pharmacology as an example. What I do is to go through one system at a time. I don't jump in from a CVS to RESP to GIT. I just go one system at a time, where I just study that system very thoroughly. So that's the first phase. So during this phase, I understand the topics, I learn as much as I can, I memorize as much as I can. And then that leads me to the second phase. The second phase is where you want to apply your knowledge. So what I do is take a lot of past paper questions, whether they are MCQs or SCQs, and I just do them. I've recently finished the CVS system, so I've just been going through MCQs and SCQs of that particular system only. So that helps me to consolidate all that knowledge that I gained from phase 1. And then that leads us to phase 3. Phase 3 is where you revise the topics that you've learned. You can't just learn one topic and then forget completely about it. So you have to constantly go back to it and revise along with the new chapters that you're learning. So you have to go back and constantly revise that chapter alongside all the new chapters that you're learning. And the way I do that is by having a study partner. So I have Delisha, who's my study partner, and we usually revise the topics together. So I teach her and she teaches me. So that's a way for us to actively recall all the information that we have learned during phase 1, and it helps us to remember all of that information in the long run. I started to work on the notes the family physician asked us to do, but after writing the notes from the first chapter of the book, I realized that this was going to take longer than expected. So I decided to use someone else's notes and just copy those, and by the end of the day I managed to write the first 4 chapters. I really didn't see the point on having to write these notes because these are not something that I'm going to be using again. We have lectures on family medicine which are done by the public health department of our faculty. So most likely I'm going to be using those notes in order to pass the exams. I was a little frustrated because I couldn't review some of the lectures I was supposed to do for that day. And this is something that every medical student has to go through. You just don't get enough time throughout the day to complete all your work. So I woke up the next day at 5 AM and I went through some respiratory lectures in pharmacology. After lectures on that day, Delisha, Durmi and I decided to continue with our revision session in the respiratory system, and then decided to call it a night at about 7:30. Hey guys, I just came back, so I'm just gonna have a quick shower and then I'm gonna get studying. I have so much things to do. I'll tell you guys in a bit. So yesterday night I ended up reviewing some of the cases that we have observed in the morning at the OPD, because it's not just about studying for your exams or doing those short notes that the consultant asked us to do, but you also need to take care of your clinical knowledge as well. We had a lot of patients coming in with vasculitis and hernia. It could be that we are going to get more patients today with hernia. So the OPD doctors might ask from us, how do you manage a patient with hernia? And because we already been exposed to the patients with hernia, they expect us to know how to manage those particular patients. So with that said, let me just put the weights back in my room and then I'm gonna get ready to go to uni. So if you have seen my previous video, you know that last week on Thursday, we didn't go to Homagama Hospital, we went to UHKDU. So this week, today's Thursday, instead of going to UHKDU, we are going to Homagama. So today we are completing that first week at Homagama. And because today is our last day with our consultant, and because I'm the group leader, it's my responsibility to buy some gifts for our consultant. So today I'll be going to a print shop to print a thank you card that someone else in the team has made for us. And then I'm going to buy some cupcakes or anything that we can give to our consultant. Hey guys, so we finally finished this bloody notes for the family medicine appointment. So I'm just going to go through this now and make sure that I'm ready to sit the viva. I haven't told you much about my role as a group leader. So there are a few things that you're supposed to do as a group leader, and one of them is to take regular attendance of everyone present within the group, and that's what I have here, where you have to mark everyone that comes in on that particular day. And then there is also something called the feedback form, which is given to the consultant, and he or she will grade us on how well we did on the different aspects given in the feedback form. So things like attendance, history taking, examination skills, follow-up of patients, participation in discussions, professionalism, enthusiasm and commitment, and so on. So the consultant will grade us, and this is something that later we have to give back to our clinical department. Apart from that, obviously you're the one who's going to be communicating with the consultant and the rest of the team. So you're like an intermediary between the two ends. So how do you become a group leader? That's something that we decide among ourselves. Everyone gets a chance to become group leader within the variety of different appointments that we have. So with that said, I'm going to conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a thumbs up down below, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.